Good evening and welcome to Warren Hills High School in Washington, New Jersey for Pope John Junior Lions Lacrosse. Mike Formisano here calling tonight's action. We are under the lights at Warren Hills High School as the Lions will be taking on the Warren Hills Blue Streaks. Lions coming off of 2 wins in regular season play, having defeated Del Barton 13-9 and Cope Middle School a couple of weeks ago, 13-4. Meanwhile, they had also come off the Riverlax tournament with a 2-2 record last Sunday at Delaware Valley High School in Pennsylvania. Let's go over the roster for Pope John before we get started. Starting with number 2, Aiden Hicks. Number 24 is Andrew Justin Maria. 7 is Connor Clifford. 23 is Dante Lamb. Emilio Barranco is 33. Evan Wanamaker, number 1. Frankie Spagnola, number 8. Johnny Pippa, number 39. Hayden Marshall, number 35. Jack Seeger is number 3. Johnny Crank, number 21. Justin Perella, 10. Number 22 is Kellen Nelson. 12 is Matthew Riley. 13, Michael Formisano. The goaltender, number 15, Michael Morelli. 32 is Nick Boyanowski. 42, Ronnie Ziegler. 25, Ryder Javald. 5 is Sal Diarco. 20, Steve Leonard. 44, Ty Plotz. 4, Victor Fiore. And 6 is Zachary Cash. Morelli back in goal for the Pope John Lions as he missed the Riverlax tournament, and a good job by Sal Diarco and Kellen Nelson to fill in. And now Morelli is back in, and so we look to have a full roster tonight for Pope John as they get to take on the Warren Hills Blue Streaks. Friday night, under the lights here for lacrosse, almost like Friday nights, or Friday Night Lights, I should say, but it is lacrosse style. So we are almost set to get started here in Washington, New Jersey. Pope John 2-0 in their regular season. Got a busy weekend of lacrosse coming up. Saturday morning, 9 a.m., Pope John heads out to Hackettstown to take them on, and then their home opener on Sunday at 3:30 against Lenape. Number 23, Dante Lamb, will take the face-off to open the game against number 33 for the Blue Streaks of Warren Hills. There are names in the back of the jerseys, but they're incredibly small, so I think we'll probably just go with numbers for Warren Hills. Pope John in their blue uniforms, trimmed by gold and white. They are traveling right to left on your screen. Warren Hills in their home white uniforms, trimmed by blue. So the referee's at the scorer's table, talking things over with the clock management crew, the scoreboard keeper. Pretty good crowd out here at Warren Hills High School for the Blue Streaks, and then also behind me for Pope John. This will be the first of 3 games this weekend. And then Pope John will have about a week and a half off, as their next game after that will be May 3rd at Pope John High School, and that'll be against Del Barton. And then they head to East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on teams in the MetLife tournament. And we'll be there for those games as well. So well, 10-minute quarters as the referee and the official scorekeeper speaking things over. We'll be back with the opening face-off here from Warren Hills High School between Pope John and Warren Hills right after this. Welcome back to Warren Hills High School in Washington, New Jersey for Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse. Mike Formasano along with you as we get set to play under the lights here in Washington, New Jersey. The Blue Streaks of Warren Hills against the Lions from Pope John, 7th and 8th grade. Dante Lamb, number 23, will take the draw to open up the game on the referee's whistle. And here we go as Lamb wins the faceoff. He'll go ahead and carry it up the field, right through the middle, cutting through the defense. The shot on goal. He scores! Dante Lamb gets the Lions on the board immediately off the opening faceoff. And so the Lions jump out to a 1-0 lead. Nice face-off win by Lamb, and what a rush up the field, just slicing through the blue streak defense, beating the goalie to the left side. Again, Pope John in their blue uniforms, traveling right to left on your screen. Those blue uniforms trimmed by gold and white. Warren Hills, the Blue Streaks, in their white uniforms trimmed by blue. What other color if they're the Blue Streaks? Here's the face-off. Lamb against number 33 for Warren Hills. Only 4 seconds elapsed there. And so Lamb wins the face-off again. And he settles it down this time. He'll look to pass it out. Gives it to number 44, Ty Plotz. Plotz will pass it in to Evan Wanamaker. Wanamaker on the right side now behind the net to Jack Seeger. Seeger back up top to Kranga to the left side. Johnny Kranga fires, just misses the left post. And it goes out of bounds. And Pope John is closest, so they will maintain possession. My apologies. I thought it was Evan Wanamaker with the gold helmet on the side. It is actually number 7, Connor Clifford. So Seeger passes out to Kranga. Kranga back up top to Plotz. Plotz on the left side. Plotz rolling out to his right. Got number 33 on him. In front to Seeger. Seeger can't handle the pass. It hits the turf. Down on the grass right now on the, turf field here at Warren Hills. It's now scooped up by number 25, Ryder Gerval. The shot, save by the Blue Streaks goaltender, and he will hold on. It's number 64 for Warren Hills. Passes it all the way down the field, and misses number 13, so rolls past the attackers for Warren Hills and gives Pope John an opportunity to regain possession. They don't, however. Warren Hills does pick it up, and they now travel behind Morelli's net. Michael Morelli in net for the Lions tonight. We are under the lights here in Washington, New Jersey. Warren Hills High School. Pope John versus the Blue Streaks of Warren Hills. Mike Formasano along with you. 1-0 Pope John as Dante Lamb got the Lions on the board quickly in this one. Only 4 seconds in. Quarters are 10 minutes. Number 13 with the ball for Warren Hills. Up top to the left side. Trying to come in on number 39 for the Lions. It's Ty Plotz, number 44, who knocks the ball loose and comes up the field into Warren Hills territory, and he'll slow it down. Over to Kranga. Kranga, number 21. Kranga turning around, back to Plotz. He's got Lamb to his right, goes to his left to Kranga. Kranga tiptoes around on the left side, now tries to cut into the top. The shot on goal, saved by the Warren Hills goalkeeper. It goes back out to Pope John. There's Seeger with it. Jack Seeger, number 3, evading trouble, trying to get a shot on goal. It's still in his cross, but he loses it eventually, and now picked up by Ty Plotz. Plotz has it on the left. Plotz will turn back around, does a 180. Shot on goal, deflected, and goes off to the right and out of bounds. Pope John is closest as Clifford was closest to the ball. So Pope John will maintain possession. 7:13 to go, first quarter, 1-0. Pope John leads over Warren Hills. Here's Seeger behind the net. Passes out to Kranga. Kranga, number 21 for the Lions. Kranga looks to fire. Now he does, and he scores! Johnny Kranga to the top of the net, right in the center, just underneath the crossbar. It was a bit of a salute. And Pope John now up 2-0. The goal comes at the 6:57 mark remaining of the first quarter. 2-0 Pope John over Warren Hills. Kranga with the goal, matching with Lamb now, so the Lions up by a deuce. Substitutions for Pope John, Michael Formasano, number 13 in the game. Replacing Hayden Marshall, number 35. Lamb will take the draw. You got Victor Fiore, number 4, on the right wing. Formasano on the left wing. Lamb loses the faceoff. One of his first losses I remember this season. It's number 33. Jordan takes it for Warren Hills. He'll cut up the right sideline. He's got number 23, Lamb, on him. Lamb not happy. Lost that draw, trying to get the ball back. It goes over to number 5 behind the net. Now at the 23. In front. Morelli got a piece of it. Michael Morelli with a big save for Pope John. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Lion ball. Sharp save by Morelli. His first true test of the game. Here's number 32, Nick Boyanowski. Pass up to Kranga. Johnny Kranga, number 21 for the Lions. Has a goal already today, along with Lamb. Kranga to the left. Twirls a stick with the ball in the net. Pass over to Formasano. Just out of his reach. It's actually scooped up now by Victor Fiore. Fiore has it. Pass to the right side. Over to Clifford. Clifford behind the net. Seeger. Jack Seeger with it. Number 3 coming in on net. Sharp angle shot, and he wasn't able to get it through. We got a flag on the play, and I believe it's going to be against Pope John. I wonder if Seeger got into the crease or what the call is going to be. It's going to be white ball. Whatever the call is, it'll go over to Warren Hills, and so they will take over. 6 minutes even to go. First quarter, 2-0. Pope John leads over Warren Hills. Wholesale substitutions for the Lions. Marshall back in the game for Formasano now, number 35, Hayden Marshall. Dante Lamb out there, pass over to Ty Plotz to the left side. Plotz, Kranga, Seeger, Clifford. So it's actually going to be Pope John who takes over possession. So the foul actually went against Warren Hills. So there's Marshall, and he leaves it over to Clifford. Clifford back behind the net to Seeger. Seeger over to Kranga. Kranga looking to fire. He does. Saved by the Warren Hills netminder. It's loose in the crease. Both teams fighting for it. It's on the ground. I think I say it's white ball. So it'll go over to Warren Hills. And they have thwarted the latest Pope John opportunity. So, 2-0 Pope John, 5:44 to go, first quarter. We're at Warren Hills High School in Washington, New Jersey, under the lights for this Friday night action. Ball goes over to Plotz for Pope John. He'll scoop it up. Passes over to Kranga. Kranga with the shot. Saved by number 64 in net for Warren Hills. He was able to flash that crossover and was able to get a stick on the ball right before it passed him up. So 2-0, Pope John leads over Warren Hills. The ball way over the head of number 23, and it's taken by number 1. There's Evan Wanamaker. Wanamaker up the field, over the center line, and into Warren Hills territory. We got a whistle. We got a timeout on the field. 5:03 to go. First quarter. Pope John leads 2-0 over Warren Hills. We'll be back for action right after this. Welcome back to Warren Hills High School in Washington, New Jersey. For Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse, 7th and 8th grade. Mike Formasano along with you, calling today's action. We are under the lights here for Friday Night Lacrosse in the western part of New Jersey. Pope John leading 2-0 halfway through the first quarter. A goal 4 seconds in by Dante Lamb, and then Johnny Kranga a couple minutes later giving the Lions a 2-0 advantage. It is Warren Hill's ball as we start out. No, I'm sorry, it is Pope John, actually. Pope John came in before the timeout was called. So Pope John will start up possession. There's Dante Lamb with it right in the middle of the field, top of the box. Rolls over to his right. Pass to Connor Clifford. Pops out of his cross. Tries to scoop it back up. He's got 35 all over him. But Clifford's able to come away with it. So good, relentless play by Warren Hills to stay on Clifford. However, Clifford was able to still come away with the ball. Here's Jack Seeger behind the net. Seeger, pass out, intercepted by number 2 for Warren Hills. And he'll race down the sideline back to the middle of the field in Pope John territory. And it's picked off by number 1, Evan Wanamaker. Ball's on the turf, however, now. It's up in the middle of the air. Comes out to number 8 for the Blue Streaks. Number 8, this is off to 24 on the right side. Number 24 with the pass to 2. 2 cutting through the middle of the field. A swarm of Lion defenders all over him. He knocked the ball loose, and it goes over to Dante Lamb. Lamb cutting through the middle of the field. All the way down into Warren Hills territory. Lamb looking for the shot. Deflected in a collision between him and number 40 for Warren Hills. Both are on their feet and look to be okay. Ball came out to Ryder Javal, who passed it up to Kranka. Johnny Kranka, number 21, down the left side, now drops it below, behind the net. Kranka looking to pass it off. No, the shot. And he scores. Johnny Kranka is able to tuck it in underneath the crossbar and give the Lions a 3-0 lead. Kranka's second of the game at the 3:31 mark remaining of the first quarter. So, Kranka with the deuce, and Pope John up 3-0. So, substitution into the game, Zachary Cash. Number 6 for the Lions. He'll play the left wing. Lamb coming back out the center. And number 20, Steve Leonard, on the right. Wanamaker number 1 and number 24, Andrew Jessamaria on defense. Three attackers already in position in the Warren Hills side of the field for Pope John. Here's the faceoff. Lamb wins it. Lamb, the midfielder, going back into Warren Hills territory. Defended there. He rolls to his right. Pass up to Clifford. Connor Clifford, number 7, back behind the net to Seeger. Seeger has it. Rolls out to the left. Pass off to Kranka. Kranka being defended by number 7 for Warren Hills. Now out to Cash. To Hyde Marshall. Marshall has it now. On the right side, up top. Changes his mind. Marshall passing it out to Kranka. Kranka, number 21. 2 goals already. Looking for the hat trick. Kranka with the shot. Save by number 64. It's loose right near the goal line. However, he's able to smother it. Makes the save. Pass downfield. And it's picked off by Wanamaker. Wanamaker races up the field. In the middle. Changes his mind and rolls to his right. Now to his left. Wanamaker still with the ball. The shot on goal. Wide and to the right. And number 3 for the Lions, Seeger, is closest. So we got a flag on the play. Tough thing is we don't get the announcements of what the actual infraction is. So it's tough for me to be able to tell at this level. I can tell you what possession it goes to. It looks to be Pope John ball. So Pope John's going to start out. Seeger in the corner to our near sideline. Again, Pope John traveling right to left on your screen. They're in the blue uniforms, trimmed by gold and white. Here's Plotz over to Lamb. Lamb back to Marshall on the right side. Marshall into Clifford. Clifford back to Seeger going around the world. Seeger. He's got Kranka. He passes it off to him. Here's Kranka. Looks to fire. Fakes it. Now the shot. He scores. Johnny Kranka. Bang, bang, bang. Hat trick. 3 goals by Kranka. And Pope John leads 4-0. That goal coming at the 2:05 mark remaining of the first quarter. So Pope John jumping all over Warren Hills on this Friday evening. Looking to go 3-0. looking at the clock across the field, it is flickering, so we may not have that for long. We're hoping that it stays lit. You can see it all the way in the middle of the screen, right past the referee on the right side. So, laying back out for the face-off against number 33 for Warren Hills. 2:06 remaining, opening quarter, 4-0, Pope John leads. Warren Hills wins the face-off. It goes over to number 13. Lamb on top of him now, trying to, gets it loose and still goes over to Warren Hills right in front of the net. The shot goes over the crossbar, kind of floated it in. Number 24 falls down for the Blue Streaks, so Wanamaker's able to take it away. Here's Wanamaker, knocked out of his cross, and infraction against Pope John, and it'll go over to Warren Hills. Warren Hills will start it up. There's number 24 over to 33 on top. Over to 13 to the left side. 13 into 33, racing in the shot, he scores. Picked the top of the net just underneath the crossbar past Morelli. And Warren Hills gets on the board. They are now down 4-1. The goal comes at the minute 39 mark remaining of the first quarter. 4-1, Pope John leads over Warren Hills. So Lamb will take the draw against number 33 for Warren Hills. 4-1 as the Blue Streaks are on the board. 33 wins the faceoff, scoops it out and gives it to 13. Plotz is called for the infraction, slamming his stick against number 13, trying to knock it loose. And so Warren Hills will start out quickly after the whistle. Referee starts play. And here comes number 33 down the right sideline. That's Jordan. Intercepted by Ryder Javal. Javal down the field into the middle now. And a collision between him and number 13. He knocks the ball loose, and Warren Hills is able to take over. Number 2, he's got Plotz all over him. Swings, and we have an infraction against Ty Plotz as he was trying to knock the ball loose. He gets called for the penalty. Oh, Plotz will go off, and that will give Warren Hills, I believe, a man advantage for a minute. .55 seconds to go. Opening quarter, 4-1. Pope John leads over Warren Hills. Plotz with a very aggressive swing there, but it went right into the stick, so I'm not sure if it was the aggressiveness of the swing that went ahead and influenced the call. But again, ball goes over to Warren Hills. It goes out of bounds, and they're closest to it as they miss to the left side. 40 seconds to go. Opening quarter, 4-1. Pope John over Warren Hills. Here's number 13 on top. He'll dish it off to number 9. Fakes. Now the shot. He scores. He's able to put it on the right side past Morelli. And so Warren Hills takes full advantage of the penalty to Plotz, and they cut the lead in half. 4-2. Pope John leads over Warren Hills. That scoreboard on the opposite side of the field is really blinking down, so we don't have a time anymore. So we'll just go with whatever the referees are keeping on the field, and we know the score. It's 4-2. Pope John over Warren Hills. Lamb will take the draw against number 33 for the Blue Streaks. Here's the face-off, and number 33 wins it for Warren Hills. Having trouble picking up off the turf, however, so finally picked up by number 33 for the Blue Streaks. Races up the right sideline. He's got number 23, Lamb, on him. Now down below where the Blue Streak player number 8 falls down, and it goes out of bounds. And since it's not a shot, it will go over to Pope John. 17 seconds to go. Opening quarter. 4-2. Pope John leads over Warren Hills. Ball picked up by Lamb, and Lamb will cut up the field. Seconds to go in the quarter. Over to Plotz. Here's Plotz. He fires. He scores! Ty Plotz. Right to the top of the net, underneath the crossbar. Past the goalkeeper for Warren Hills, number 64. And it's 5-2, Pope John over the Blue Streaks of Warren Hills. Oh, a cannon from Ty Plotz there. Opened up the Pope John lead to 3, and that came right at the end of the first quarter. So Plotz's shot beats the clock, and Pope John leads 5-2. That's the end of the first quarter. We'll be back with second period action right after this. Welcome back to Warren Hills High School in Washington, New Jersey for Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse. Mike Formasano along with you, calling tonight's action. So we are under the lights here in Washington, New Jersey. As we finished up the end of that first quarter, Plotz was able to put the ball past the Warren Hills goalkeeper. However, I believe it came after the clock expired, because even though that scorekeeper clock is flickering, every time it flashes, I'm only seeing a 4 in the goal column for Pope John. So I don't think they credited Plotz with that goal. They're saying that time expired. So we're going to go with 4-2 until I hear differently. So 4-2, Pope John leading over Warren Hills. Plotz just ran out of time there before putting that ball in the back of the net. So 4-2 is the score, and Warren Hills loses the faceoff over to Lamb. Lamb to Michael Formasano on the right side. Now back up to Plotz. Ty Plotz will pass it off to Kranga. Johnny Kranga with it now. Kranga back behind the net to Jack Seeger. Seeger goes to race up to the right side. The pass up, intercepted by number 8 for the Blue Streaks. And so they'll pass it back to the goalkeeper and reset. Ball's loose, number 40 going after it, and that's number 9, or number 8 for Warren Hills. Up to 13 as they go into Pope John territory. Falls out of his cross, and so he's able to pick it back up, and the shot on goal goes wide to the left. And number 99 for Warren Hills is closest to the play. Early second quarter, Pope John leads 4-2 over Warren Hills. Here's number 99 up the left side. Warren Hills now traveling right to left on your screen in their white uniforms trimmed by blue. Pope John in their blue uniforms trimmed by gold and white. The shot on goal, saved by Morelli. Rolls over to the left, and as Pope John picks it up, we're going to have a whistle as a flag on the play, an infraction against Pope John. So Warren Hills will take over possession, hoping they get that short fixed in that clock. We can continue to give time updates. However, it's pretty bad right now. I can't read it. So here's number 9 for Warren Hills. Pass out to number 13. Shot on goal, deflected, goes wide of the right post. And number 9, or number 99, closest to the ball. So the Blue Streaks maintain possession. Pope John up by a deuce, 4-2. Second quarter here from Warren Hills High School. Pass up to 13. It's knocked out of his stick and picked up by Evan Wanamaker. And Wanamaker will throw it up the field. Over the reach of Michael Formasano. And picked up by number 35 for the Blue Streaks. Pass up to number 7. Number 7 has it on the left side. Racing towards the middle of the field. The shot on goal. He scores. Number 7's able to bounce it past Michael Morelli. And that will make it 4-3. The Lion lead now cut to 1. So Warren Hills scratching, clawing their way back into this game. Second quarter, Pope John's lead is trimmed to 1. Substitutions in the game for Pope John. Connor Clifford on the right wing. Dante Lamb will take the face-off in the center of the field. So number 23 for Warren Hills will match up against Pope John's 23, Dante Lamb. Here's Lamb with the draw. Ball's on the turf. Referee with the whistle. Lamb's able to scoop it up and take it down the field. Dante Lamb rolls over to the right side. Pass over to Fiore. Fiore has it. Back behind the net to Seeger. Jack Seeger with it now. Seeger will pass it out to Johnny Kranka. Kranka takes over behind the net. Kranka will roll to his left. Looking to fire. Fakes it. Now the shot. And it goes wide to the left post. Out of bounds, but Pope John is closest, so they'll maintain possession. That's a rule in lacrosse. If you're closest, the shot goes out of bounds, you have possession. So if you're on the offense and you are closest, you maintain possession. If you're on defense and you're closest, you get the ball. Here's Kranger's shot off the crossbar and goes out of bounds. So Kranger rings iron. No avail as Pope John will stay up by 1 instead of 2. Number 4, Victor Fiore will take it. Here's Fiore, pass out to Clifford. Clifford with it now over to Plotz. Ty Plotz. Cuts to his left, now over to his right. Rolling to his right, tried to pass it inside. Seeger has it behind the net, fighting for it. The ball's on the turf, he scoops it up. Here is Seeger on the left side. Seeger rolling past number 25, looking to fire. He pulls it back, gives it out to Kranga. Kranga, we got a flag on the play. It's against Warren Hills. Kranga fighting his way in. It's knocked out of his cross. He gets back. Pass out to Lamb. Dante Lamb on the left side, going back up top. Delay penalty against Warren Hills there. Is Lamb with the shot wide of the left post. And then it goes out of bounds. Pope John will maintain. And so Pope John will in possession. And referee picks the flag up off the field. Scores 4-3. Pope John over Warren Hills. We are in the mid-second quarter. Unfortunately, can't give you a time update as the scoreboard has a short in it. So tomorrow morning, Pope John back at it. They will take on Hackettstown and another road game for the Lions before their home opener on Sunday afternoon at 3:30 p.m. against Lenape. please join us at Pope John High School for that game or in Hackettstown on Saturday morning. And if you can't make it out to the game, we'll be streaming it for you. Here's Seeger. Pass out to Kranger. Kranger with the shot. Saved by the Warren Hills goalkeeper. And that goes flying out of bounds. Pope John will maintain possession, however. Here's Clifford. Clifford inbounds to Seeger. Seeger back to Clifford. Clifford has it on the right. Over to Marshall. Hayden Marshall. Up top. Pass to Lamb. Lamb back to Marshall. Marshall on the right side. Now back to Clifford. Connor Clifford to Marshall. Marshall up top. Gives it back to Plotz. Here's Ty Plotz over to Kranger. Kranger with the pass behind to Seeger. Seeger reverses course. Passes it out to Kranger. The shot on goal. They say it did not go in. They say it hit the crossbar. I saw the net flicker, but they say it hit the crossbar or the post on the right side. So Pope John still up 4-3. Now here's Kranger. Kranger with the pass. Intercepted by number 8. He passes it back to the goalkeeper, and so Warren Hills, by the skin of their teeth, are not scored upon in that possession. So here's number 32, Boyanowski. Boyanowski passes up the field to Plotz. Here's Plotz racing up the middle of the field, cutting to his left. Plotz, along with Lamb, does a 360. Rolls out, gives it to Kranger. Johnny Kranger, back to Plotz. Over to Lamb up top. Lamb will set the offense. Telling his players to go ahead and move in closer to the goal. Here comes Lamb trying to get an edge closer to the net. Right through the defense. Shot on goal, he loses it. It hits the turf and it's picked up by number 40 for Warren Hills. Throws it downfield. It's intercepted by number 1, Evan Wanamaker. Wanamaker over to Plotz. Ty Plotz racing up the field. Over to Marshall. Marshall with the backhand shot. He scores! Hayden Marshall goes backhand and gives Pope John a 5-3 lead. Nice shot by Marshall. And Pope John is back up by a deuce. 5-3, the Lions lead midway through the second quarter. So Warren Hill's not able to complete the comeback from 4-0 down. So at 4-3, it stalls out, and Pope John jumps back up by 2. Midway through the second, 2-goal lead for Lions over the Blue Streaks. Lamb will take the draw against number 33 for Warren Hills. Number 20, Steve Leonard in front of me on the right wing. Lamb wins the faceoff initially, but the ball hits the turf, and Warren Hills scoops it up. Here's number 7 on the right side in Pope John territory. Ball goes behind the net. 17 can't handle it. And there is 32 for Pope John racing to get that ball, Boyanowski. It's picked up by Warren Hills, however. Number 9 has it on the left wing. Andrew Jess Maria defending that. That goes over to number 13 for the Blue Streaks. Up top now. Leonard on him. Now pass over to 33. Cutting it on Plotz. Tries to pass it back. However, it's deflected by Plotz, and it goes over to Lamb. Here's Dante Lamb racing up past the center line and into Warren Hills territory. Lamb out of jog now. He'll turn around. Number 13 taking a couple swipes at him. Pass out to Victor Fiore. Fiore, number 4. Over to Seeger. Seeger behind the net on the right side. Seeger will pass it off to Kranger. Kranger racing behind on the right post. The shot goes wide of it and out of bounds. Look to try and maybe have a backhand shot himself like Marshall did. However, it didn't work out. And it goes out of bounds, but Pope John maintains possession. Late second quarter, Lions up by a deuce. 5-3. Here's Seeger with it. Jack Seeger coming in. The shot on goal. Off the post again. It's the third post that Pope John has hit this quarter alone. So, number 7 with it. Over to number 33 for Warren Hills. Pope John, a little snake bit there by the goal. 1 off the crossbar, 2 off the right post in this quarter alone. Ball goes towards the back line. Warren Hills get it before it goes out of bounds. They do. Ball still on the turf, however. Boyadowski fighting for it. Finally goes out of bounds, and we'll see who it's called for. Now the ball's going to go over to Warren Hills, they say. No, they say Pope John is going to start possession. So Andrew Maria, number 24 with the long pole, racing up the near sideline. Pass over to Gervald. Ryder Gervald trying to get around his defender, number 13, Webb. He passes it off to Plotz. It's on the turf. Scrum for the ball. Plotz flips it up in the middle of the air. And there's Fiore right in front of us. And the ball goes out of bounds. Picked up by number 13 for Warren Hills to start play back up. Referee blows a whistle and play starts back up. Ball flipped all the way down the field past number 15, and it's out of bounds. And so Pope John will start up again. 5-3, the Lions lead over the Warren Hills Blue Streaks. Mike Formisano here calling tonight's action. We are under lights at Warren Hills High School in Washington, New Jersey. Good game so far. Pope John jumped out to a 4-0 lead. And Warren Hills cut it to 4-3. It looked like they had made it 5-3, Pope John, at the end of the first quarter. As the ball goes out of bounds past number 3, Seeger. And Warren Hills will take over. Ty Plotz had a shot on goal right at the end of the first quarter. I believe they disallowed the goal because time ran out. So it kept the score 4-3. But since then, Hayden Marshall has put one in the back of the net for Pope John, and the Lions do lead by 2. We're getting to the late stages of the second quarter. Here's number 2 for Warren Hills, a shot on goal. Save by Michael Morelli. Great save by the goalkeeper for Pope John. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Warren Hills. Pretty crisp evening out here in western New Jersey, northwest New Jersey, I should say. Probably about 65 degrees, good wind blowing. A lot better than last week where it was up to 91 on Friday. And then even the Delaware Valley tournament was in the high 70s, low 80s in northeast Pennsylvania. Ball goes out of bounds, and Warren Hills will take over. This number 2 for the Blue Streaks. He comes in, attacking towards the goal. Goes to the middle, pass off to 23, and a 360 move, but he lost the ball. And it's just Maria fighting for it, along with Morelli. It's in the crease, picked up by number 15, Morelli. We got a whistle on the play and a flag. I'm not sure who it's against. It may be against Pope John. We'll see. Yeah, it looked like they called number 1. Evan Wanamaker on the call. So Warren Hills will start it up on the left side, nearest sideline to us. Here's number 2. Passes it out to 23. 23 up top. Pass in to 15. The shot just past Morelli as it bounced right past him. Warren Hills with it now, number 17. He's able to pick it up. Pass out to number 2 on the left side. And there's Johnny Pippa, number 39 in the game for the Lions. Pass over to Boyanowski, and we got a whistle. So the ball will be started out by Warren Hills. Number 2 with it. On the referee's whistle. There he comes in. Number 2. Pass out to 23. Pope John leads 5-3 here. Second quarter. Morelli getting a piece of that. Tips it back to the Blue Streaks, however. But now picked up by 23, Dante Lamb. Here's Lamb up the middle of the field. Over to Plotz. Lions on the charge. Pass over to Seeger, just over his stick and out of bounds. And so the Blue Streaks will take over. Well, Warren Hill's starting deep in their own territory. Number 2 runs it back in. He's got Jack Seeger all over him. The referee stops action. 8 seconds. Here is the referee's whistle. So Warren Hill starts the attack. Ball goes all the way downfield. Bounces off the turf. Jessa Maria over it. And there's the whistle for the end of the second quarter. So Pope John able to get on the board once in that quarter. A goal by Hayden Marshall. And at halftime, it is 5-3. Pope John leading Warren Hills. We'll be back with second half action here from Warren Hills High School, home of the Blue Streaks, right after this. Enjoy halftime. Welcome back to Warren Hills High School in Washington, New Jersey. We're at halftime between Pope John and Warren Hills, and the Lions lead 5-3 as we head into the second half. Good start by the Lions, scoring 4 seconds in. Dante Lamb able to get Pope John on the board. Johnny Krango with 3 goals afterwards to make it 4-0. Warren Hills cut the lead to 4-3, and then Ty Plotz with a shot right at the end of the first quarter, which I believe was disallowed because of the end of the quarter. So they say the shot went in after time expired. So lead stayed 4-3, and it went into the second quarter. Only 1 goal in the second quarter, and that was off the stick of Hayden Marshall with a backhand shot. Made it 5-3 Pope John, and that's where we stand heading into the second half. Just to give an update, want to wish a happy birthday out to Erin Kranga, as she is Johnny's mom, and it's her birthday today. So happy birthday, Erin. We are starting up here, third quarter at Warren Hills High School. Pope John leading 5-3 over the Blue Streaks of Warren Hills. Pope John going to be traveling right to left on your screen to start the third quarter. Still no time or scoreboard anymore, as there's a short in the official scorekeeper's box there. So we will just go with the referee's time on the field. And again, we know the score being, 5-3 is what we believe it is to be, as the Plotz goal was taken off the board, I believe. So if that is corrected, then Pope John is given credit. I'll find out after the game. We will amend that tomorrow morning. But for right now, we're going to go with 5-3. Pope John leading by 2. Pope John, some last-minute substitutions there to get their personnel on the field. And here's the face-off on the referee's whistle. And it's won by Lamb as he pushes it forward, scoops it up, and now takes possession. Starting the third quarter here from Warren Hills High School in Washington, New Jersey. Mike Formasano along with you, calling tonight's action. We are under lights at Warren Hills High School. The Lions and the Blue Streaks. Lamb will take it all the way behind the Blue Streaks net. Goes around it, trying to poke it home, and he does! Dante Lamb with the goal to make it 6-3, Pope John. Lamb going around the world and is able to tuck it into the left post, just inside of it, past the goalkeeper of Warren Hills. And so now Pope John leads 6-3. So Lamb with his second of the game. Kranga's got 3, Marshall with 1. Lamb will take the draw against number 33 for Warren Hills. They say Lamb was in too soon, so that we'll give the ball over on the face-off to Warren Hills. So number 33 starts with it up the right sideline. That's Jordan for the Blue Streaks. Now back behind to number 3, over to 24. The shot goes wide to the left post, and Warren Hills is closest to it, so they'll maintain. Good save by Morelli. Michael Morelli in net for the Lions, returning after an absence for the Riverlax tournament. There was a lot of kids who were missing that. Those tournaments can be tough on Sunday mornings or afternoons with teams with activity, especially coming off of Easter break. So looks like we have a full contingent tonight. And good to see everybody back. Here's Johnny Kranga on the left side. Hat trick for him tonight. Pass goes back to Plotz. Now over to Ryder Javald. Javald on top to the right side. Pope John is traveling right to left on your screen. They're in their blue uniforms trimmed by gold and white. Over to Connor Clifford. Clifford with it now over to Seeger. Seeger has it behind the net. Races towards the left post. Looking to tuck it in. Can't do so. He's got defense all over him, so Seeger pulls it back. Passes it over to Plotz up top. Plotz with Javald crossing in front of him. Now he goes towards the center of the field. Plotz inside, and a cross-check down on number 20, Steve Leonard, and we got a whistle. And Pope John will take over from the sideline. So Leonard getting crushed there right in front of the crease for Warren Hills, and the blue streaks are called on it. So trying to count the Warren Hills players to see. I believe that is a penalty against them. So man up situation for Pope John. Here's Dante Lamb up top. He'll pass it off to Marshall. Marshall gives it to Clifford. Now over to Seeger. Seeger behind. Seeger to Clifford on the right. Clifford back up top to Marshall. Gives it to Lamb on the left side. Lamb to Plotz. Pops out of his stick for a second, but he scoops it back up. Now to Kranga. Kranga to Seeger. Seeger running towards the right post. He's behind now. He changes direction. Gives it to Kranga. Kranga with the shot. He scores! Johnny Kranga, goal number 4. On Mom's birthday, she must be thrilled. So 4 goals for Kranga tonight, and Pope John leads 7-3. Kranga firing from that left side, blistering it past the goalkeeper for Warren Hills. So 7-3. Substitutions on the field now. Michael Formisano, number 13, into the game for Pope John on the left wing. Playing in the left midfield position. You got number 6, Zachary Cash. On the right wing, Lamb there for the draw. On defense, Boyanowski and Wanamaker and Emilio Barranco. And on the forward positions, Clifford, Seeger, and Kranga. And Morelli in net. Here's the face-off. Tie-up right at the line. Will Lamb come out with it? Yes, he does. Dante Lamb will charge up the field. Cutting past 2, now 3 defenders to pass out to Kranga. Just out of his reach, and so Seeger trying to scoop it up. He finally does on the second effort. Seeger behind the net, coming up on the left post. Over to Kranga. Kranga pulls back to the left. Waiting for the offense to set, directing Formisano towards the net. Here's Kranga. Kranga in front. Formisano with the screen, but the save made by the Warren Hills goalkeeper. Formisano trying to knock that down there. And it goes over to Evan Wanamaker, who's smacked in the mask area by Steele, number 23, and a penalty on the play. The shot saved by the goalkeeper. So slashing call against number 23. And a penalty against Warren Hills. Oh, Wanamaker taking that right off the golden helmet there. So I had called Connor Clifford Wanamaker earlier in the game because I looked for the golden helmet, which Evan's been wearing for the past 4 games. Well, 3 games and then the tournament. But Clifford now has one as well. So Pope John now starting to sport the golden helmets. So you got a couple of players who have them. So here's Hayden Marshall with it on the right side over to Clifford, as we aforementioned. Passing it up to Seeger behind the net. There's Seeger. He'll give it to Kranga. Kranga back to Plotz. Plotz to Lamb. Lamb up top. Lamb fires. He scores! Lamb in the bottom left portion of the net. Tucks it into the left post, just inside in the net. And Pope John goes up 8-3. Power play goal for the Lions. They jump up by 5. So Pope John's starting to pull away here in this third quarter. Building up a sizable 5-goal lead. Things can change quickly in lacrosse. We know that. However, Pope John starting to build up a sizable lead. Substitution in. Jack Seeger out of the game. Being replaced by, looks like, number 4, Victor Fiore. Travald on the left wing now in place of Formisano. And you've got number 39, Johnny Pippa, out there as well. Lamb will take the face-off. Again, this is 1 of 3 for Pope John this weekend. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Join us for coffee and donuts. And the Pope John matchup against Hackettstown. In Hackettstown, the last road game before they have their home opener on Sunday afternoon at 3:30 against Lenape. Here's the pass out to Clifford. Clifford coming in. Defense all over him. Clifford trying to get the shot off. Can't do so. It's knocked out of his cross. And so sent all the way down the field by Warren Hills right to Morelli. And Morelli will bag that. Passes it off to Boyanowski. Here's Nick Boyanowski. Sends it over to number 1. That is Evan Wanamaker. Goes out of bounds, and so Warren Hills will take over. Ball about 5 feet to my left. Make sure I hop out of the way. I'm a little too old chasing down balls, so. 0-0 for Warren Hills. We'll play it in. I'll let the kids get the ball, man. Much easier. And the ball's going to go over to Pope John. Possession over to the Lions. Midway through the third quarter, and Pope John with a 5-goal lead. Here's Ryder Javal, number 25. Past the center line. He'll pass it off to Kranga. Kranga, can he get goal number 5? He does! Johnny Kranga! Kranga with his 5th goal in the game, and it's 9-3. Or 9-5. Yeah, 9-3, yes. Again, I'm working without a scoreboard, so trying to remember the goals here. That's Kranga's 5th of the game, however, and Pope John leads 9-3. 4 goals here in the third quarter for the Lions. Looking for their 3rd win of this regular season. They defeated Del Barton 13-9, and then took out Kumpf Middle School in Clark, New Jersey by a count of 13-4. So 9-3 here against Warren Hills. Pope John doing all their damage on the road. They have not had their home opening yet. Here's 13 with the shot. He scores. So he's able to bounce it in to the left side past Morelli, and that'll make it 9-4. That is Warren Hills' first goal in 2 quarters. They scored their first 3 of the game in the first quarter, trying to come back from a 4-0 deficit. They made it 4-3. And it stayed like that until the second quarter. And Hayden Marshall was able to put the Lions up 5-3. And that's where we were going into the third quarter. The Lions have scored 4 times, and now Warren Hills with their first of the second half. So, 9-4, Pope John leads over Warren Hills. Lamb will take the draw. Here's the face-off. Won by Lamb, and Lamb will charge up the field, racing towards the net. The shot on goal goes wide of the left post. Victor Fiore closest to it for Pope John, so he'll get the ball inbounds quickly. No, actually, they have to wait for the referee's whistle anyway, so they blows it up, and here's Kranga in front. Kranga with the shot, making a half dozen. Johnny Kranga, goal number 6. Scoring machine for Pope John tonight. And he gives the Lions double digits, 10-4. Pope John up on Warren Hills. We are late third quarter from Washington, New Jersey. Under the lights, Friday Night Lights, lacrosse style. Pope John leading 10-4 over Warren Hills. Mike Formisano calling tonight's game. Thanks for joining us. No, Warren Hills is going to get the ball without a face-off. I believe there was an infraction to Pope John. I don't know specifically what it was, but there's Plotz with it. Ty Plotz run out the field. Ty Plotz pass over to Jack Seeger. Seeger coming in. Seeger all alone. The shot just bounced it off the turf, and it hopped over the crossbar, not underneath it and in. But Pope John will maintain possession. And there's Kranga with it behind the net. Good attempt by Seeger. Over just missed going into the net. There's Kranga. Can he get number 7? No. Save by the goalkeeper for Warren Hills. He'll put it in the crease for the netminder, and he'll cover. We got time on the play. We got an injured player down for Pope John. And we'll let you know who it is once we find out coach is on the field to take a look at him. Krieger, Johnny Krieger on. They help him up. And hopefully Johnny's all right. Looks like he will be. They'll shake it off. So good to see. 10-4. Pope John leads over Warren Hills. Late third quarter. A late April evening here, Friday night in northwest New Jersey. About 25 miles away from Pope John Middle School. Took a lot longer to get here than you would assume. Not a lot of highway driving. It's a lot of back roads and country roads to get here. So, probably about 45 minutes away by road. 25 miles. Here's the goalkeeper for Warren Hills out of his net. He'll throw it downfield. It's intercepted by Plotz, but off his crossing. Goes over to Warren Hills, number 13. He picks it up. Comes in on net, trying to get a shot off. Gets the ball back. Now the shot saved by Morelli. It's loose in front. Warren Hill's able to get it back, but the ball goes over to Plotz, and Plotz is able to take it out of harm's way. Fires it down the field to Seeger. Here's Seeger, number 3, catches the pass. Goes over to Lamb. Lamb up top. Lamb avoids the defender. Pass goes over to Zachary Cash. Now over to Clifford. Connor Clifford, number 7 for Pope John. Rolls out. Pass over to Formasano. We got a whistle on the play. And the possession is going to go over to Warren Hills. So, late third quarter, 10-4. Pope John leads over Warren Hills. Legal substitution against Pope John. So, Warren Hills will take over. Trailing by 6. So Formasano will come out of the game. Ty Plotz enters. Referee with the ball, walking towards middle of the field. Right on the yellow circle there on the turf. Again, artificial turf here and everything, so see a lot more high schools going to that here in New Jersey. You don't have to worry about cutting the grass or mud piles all over. Here's Jordan up the right sideline. Jordan will race behind the net. Going around the world now. Comes back out the left side. Over to number 11. Goes out of bounds. No, he's able to keep it in. No. It does hit out of bounds, and so Pope John will take over. Tried to save that. Wasn't able to do so. So late third quarter here from Warren Hills High School, 10-4. Pope John leads. Pass out to Clifford. Off his stick and picked up by number 40 for Warren Hills. They'll just put it right in the crease and give it to the goalkeeper, who will reset action. Walking out of his crease, it's knocked out by Victor Fiore. The shot, he scores! Victor Fiore is able to knock it out of the cross of the goalkeeper. And as it hits the turf, Fiore scoops it up and fires into the empty net. Great goal by Victor Fiore. And that makes it 11-4. Pope John over Warren Hills. So the goalkeeper was out of his crease. Fair game. And Fiore just came back and just slammed his stick against the goalkeepers, knocked the ball loose, and just had scooped it up and put it into the net. So the ball's going to go over to Warren Hills to start, though, so. Here's number 2. We'll start action. 11-4. Pope John leads over Warren Hills. Here's number 2 coming in. Shot on goal. Saved by Morelli. Michael Morelli getting a piece of that. And keeping Warren Hills off the scoreboard again. So here's Wanamaker. Number 1. He'll pass it all the way downfield. Just out of the reach of Ryder Javald. And so the ball goes out of bounds and over to Warren Hills. Late third quarter, we do not have an exact time as the scoreboard has shorted out. So, right on the scorer's table. We know it's 11-4. We just don't have a time. Going by the referee's time clock on the field. So they start play up. Here's number 2 for Warren Hills. Gervald all over him. Rolls out, passes it up the field to number 33 as he's knocked down. And the ball's taken over by Johnny Pippa. Pippa will pass it up to Marshall. Marshall at the center line. Marshall down the field to Fiore. Here's Fiore. Rolls to his left. Over to Gervald. Gervald had to reach up to get that. Gervald gives it to Fiore. Fiore on the left side. Pass up to Cash. Zachary Cash with it now. Number 6 coming in. Cash with the shot. Save by the Warren Hills netminder. Number 64. Fires it over to number 11. Midfielder for the Blue Streaks. Coming in against Plotz. Rolls to his right. Plotz swinging away. Trying to knock that ball loose. And he does. But Collins, number 11, is able to shove it downfield. Ball's loose on the turf. Justin Maria fighting for it. Cash is the one who picks it up. So, Zach Cash brings it up the right sideline. Trying to get past 33. He does. Fires it downfield, but out of the reach of Clifford. So, number 7 with it. Ball's knocked loose. It's Fiore. Fiore back to Clifford. Clifford over to Fiore behind the net. Fiore just out of reach of Cash. Here's Formisano. Michael Formisano up the field on the right side. Pass over. Bounces past Clifford. And Clifford picks it up behind the net. Clifford with the pass out. Off of Fiore's stick. Fiore looking to scoop it up. Goes out of bounds. And ball will go over to Warren Hills. Late third quarter. 11-4. Pope John leads. The Blue Streaks will bring the ball up the field. Pass up. Pippa has it. Pippa in the middle. Ball's knocked loose. Warren Hills trying to scoop it up. Got Boyanowski in on that and Cash. Boyanowski, he'll pick it up from the turf. Knocked loose, and there's Marshall in along with number 24 for Warren Hills. Ball still on the ground, and that's the end of the third quarter. So, Pope John able to add to their lead substantially, and at the end of 3 quarters, it is 11-4. Pope John over Warren Hills. We'll be back with fourth quarter action right after this. Welcome back to Warren Hills High School in Washington, New Jersey for fourth quarter action between the Pope John Junior Lions and the Warren Hills Blue Streaks. Mike Formisano calling tonight's action. Thanks for joining us. We are under the lights in Washington, New Jersey. It's a beautiful night out here, late April, early spring evening. And if you're a Pope John fan or family, relative, alumni, etc., you're enjoying this action as Pope John leads 11-4. And they just brought up the manual scoreboard, so they confirmed what I was saying about it. So 11-4 at the end of the third quarter as we head into the fourth. Pope John will now be traveling left to right on your screen. They're in their blue uniforms trimmed by gold and white. Warren Hills in their white uniforms traveling right to left, and the white uniforms trimmed by blue. Again, please join us tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., bright and early. Saturday morning, Lacrosse. Pope John will be taking on Hackettstown. And then Sunday, their home opener against Lenape. Here's Cash, and Cash gets shoved in the back, and flags fly from both referees as Warren Hills is going to be hit with that infraction right into the back of Cash. So, tough hit. Pope John will start it up as we begin this fourth quarter, leading by 7. As I said, Pope John will get their home opener on Sunday against Lenape after the Hackettstown game tomorrow. And then they'll be off till May 3rd, where they'll take on Del Barton. Del Barton will come to Pope John. That game, 4 o'clock on Wednesday, May 3rd. And then the MetLife tournament on Saturday, May 6th. Here's Cash. Zach passes it out to Clifford. Clifford, it's intercepted by number 40 for Warren Hills. Formisano's able to knock that loose. Good play by Formisano. Now goes over to Cash. Ball still on the turf. He's trying to get it free. There's number 35. 35 for Warren Hills. We got a whistle. Stoppage of play. I think possession is going to go back over to Pope John as they're retreating back. Yes. Referee signals ball to the Lions. Cash will start it up on the referee's whistle. And here we go. Cash with it. No, actually the ball was being possessed by number 23 for Warren Hills, but now Cash has it, rolls it to him, and so the referee winds his arm, starts the clock, and there's Cash over to Fiore. Victor Fiore behind the net. Fiore will roll over towards the left post, looking to come in, try and sneak that ball into the net behind the goalkeeper, but it's knocked loose, and number 25 is able to scoop it up for Warren Hills. Now there's number 13 for the Blue Streaks, past the center line. Coming towards the top of the box, now the shot on goal, and he scores. Number 13 with an almost end-to-end rush there for Warren Hills. And that will give them their 5th goal of the game. It's still Pope John 11, Warren Hills 5. So dreams of a comeback for Warren Hills. They start that long, lengthy road down by 7, now cutting it 6. Got a long way to go. Pope John wants to quell that as quickly as possible, however. So, Warren Hills will take it over from center field as we start action up. 11-5, Pope John leads by a half dozen. Number 8 passes off to 24 for the Blue Streaks. On the right side, you got Emilio Barranco on him, number 33 for the Lions, along with Gerval. Gerval looking for the intercept, couldn't get it. And now collision with him and number 11, and we got a flag on the play. They're going to call Gerval for that. And Warren Hills, one of the players, took a swipe at Barranco. So, I don't know if that's going to negate anything. I say when I call hockey a lot, usually what happens is they see the retaliation the referees do. The referees don't always see the initial penalty or initial act of infraction. They'll always see the retaliation. So here's number 8 with the shot just wide of the left post. It goes out of bounds. Warren Hills is closest to it, so they'll maintain possession. Number 99 for the Blue Streaks. 11-5, Pope John leads by 6. Early stages of the fourth quarter, a couple of minutes in. Again, we don't have a clock. Here's the shot by 99, saved by Morelli. We got a flag on the play. A lot of infractions here in the second half. It really has slowed up this game. So, penalty against Andrew Maria, number 24. And so possession will go over to Warren Hills. Substitution, Connor Clifford out of the game, number 7. Ty Plotz, number 44, back in for the Lions. Here's number 8 for Warren Hills, over to 23. Plotz got a piece of that. It hit the stick, and he knocks it loose. The 23 is able to scoop it up for Warren Hills and got another whistle. And a penalty against Plotz, and so Warren Hills will... No, I'm sorry, it's against Warren Hills, so Pope John will take over. So, pass back to Morelli as he resets the offense. Morelli's got 99 all over him. He was out of his crease as 99 collided his stick with his. So, because he was out of the crease, he was allowed to do that. Here's number 23 in. 23 with the shot. Save by Morelli. Mike Morelli with a big save there to keep this score 11-5. Number 9 closest, 99 for Blue Streaks. So they'll keep possession. Ball goes over to number 8 on the left wing. Back up to 23. Now to number 8. It's tipped by Plotz. Bronco tried to get a piece of that. Ball's on the turf. Bronco scoops it up into the air, but it doesn't land in the cross. Still on the turf. He's getting knocked around there. No whistle. We play on. There's Bronco. He throws it towards the sidelines. Plotz chases after it. There's Plotz. Got Steele, number 23 on him. Plotz backhands it to Formisano. Michael Formisano running up the right side of the field, trying to get around. It's knocked out of his stick by number 8. And number 8 will charge up the field for Warren Hills. Number 8. Pass over to 99. The shot saved by Morelli. Good save by the goalkeeper for Pope John. Here's number 99. Passing it back to 8 on the left side and near sideline. Steele, number 23. Up top with it. He's got 11 with him. Pass off to 11. Now over to 24 on the far sideline. Trying to cut in. Pass over to 11. Top of the box. Shot in. Past the right post. It goes out of bounds. 99 is closest to it for Warren Hills. Clock winding down here. I believe we'd be in the mid portion of this fourth quarter. Again, we don't have a clock as it's shorted out. Here's a shot by number 8. Deflected down. Ball's on the turf. Scrum for it. Boyanowski trying to pick it up. He can't do so. And now it finally goes over to Jack Seeger. Seeger's able to get it into his stick. Number 99 just slashing away at him, trying to knock that ball loose. And now a flag on the play. We continue playing on. However, here's Seeger. Flag on the turf against Warren Hills. Now the ball over to Formisano. Formisano on the right. Formisano in front of Marshall. And it bounces off the turf. Warren Hills is able to take it away. And when they pick up the ball, the flag's called from the earlier penalty. Number 1 called against Warren Hills. So that will put Pope John a man up. Middle fourth quarter. Pope John leads over Warren Hills 11-5. So Formisano will bring it in from the near sideline to the right of the Warren Hills goal. The referee blows the whistle. No, one referee blows it, and the other one stops it as Warren Hills is able to get a late substitution in. So now Formisano will go in, and Marshall will start play. Here's Marshall with it, number 35. Marshall comes in, passes over to Formisano down below. Formisano gives it to Fiore. Victor Fiore, number 4. Ball's loose. Now picked up by Pope John. There's Seeger with it. Seeger, and the ball's knocked against him. He's got it. 25-7 all over him. Seeger will pass it over to Fiore, but it's out of bounds, and Warren Hills will take over. Blue Streaks down by 6. Pope John leads it by a count of 11-5 midway through this fourth quarter. So number 40 will start the charge for Warren Hills. They'll give it to his goalkeeper, number 64, so they'll reset the action. It's deflected by Fiore. Fiore's able to get a stick on that. The pass to Formisano. Formisano takes the shot, but it went way wide of the right post. I think a defender for the Blue Streaks was able to get a piece of a stick. So ball goes out of bounds, but Fiore is closest to it. So Pope John will maintain possession. Two great plays by Fiore, getting in on the goalkeeper trying to pass it down the field. One knocked out of his stick for a goal, and then that one right there by Fiore. So here's Marshall. Marshall to Formisano. Formisano gives it to Fiore. Fiore behind the net. Victor Fiore looking to come in on the left post. Ball's a little loose. Scoops it back up. And he'll pass it over to Cash. Cash number 6 rolling to the top of the field. We got a flag against Warren Hills, so delayed penalty call. There's Seeger. 25 after him, Jack Seeger. Over to Cash. Cash with the pass to Formisano, back to Cash. Cash passes in, deflected by number 8 for Warren Hills, and the ball's on the turf and get a whistle as Warren Hills touches up. And they're called with the infraction. Number 7 off the field for Warren Hills. Ball goes over to Pope John. Oh, we move to the late stages of the fourth quarter here. I think they just announced 3:48 left to go on the clock. I can't confirm that, but that's what I thought I heard. Here's Marshall. Pass over to Fiore just over his head and out of bounds. So the Blue Streaks will take over. Late fourth quarter, Pope John leads over Warren Hills 11-5. Mike Formisano here calling tonight's action from you for Pope John against Warren Hills in Washington, New Jersey at Warren Hills High School. Number 40 will whip it downfield. Goes all the way down. Boyanowski chases that for Pope John. He'll scoop it up and he'll run behind his goal. Comes up the field. He'll pass it up to Bronco. And it goes over to Seeger, actually. Over Bronco's head, and Seeger takes it. Jack Seeger, number 3. Tied up by 25 and another flag. These flags keep flying against Warren Hills as they continue to take liberties. Another cross-check against Seeger. Now Cashed with it. Cashed gives it to Formisano on the right. Michael Formisano passes it behind to Fiore. Fiore behind the goal. Fiore on the left side, back up top to number 3, Seeger. It bounces past and into midfield, and as Warren Hills touches up, they're going to get called for another penalty. So late stages in the fourth quarter. Working without a clock or a scoreboard as it shorted out earlier after the first quarter. But Pope John leads 11-5. Working on the referee's whistle, and we'll let you know when the game does end, obviously. So here's Marshall. Up top. Cash on his right. Passes it off to Gervald on his left. Ryder Gervald, number 25. Comes back up top. Gervald rolls out. Looking to pass it off. He's got Formisano on the right. Passes it to him. Formisano on the right wing. Formisano coming in. He'll give it to Fiore behind. Victor Fiore now behind the net. Passes out to Marshall. Marshall up top on the left side. Now over to Fiore. Fiore fires. Hits the post. Fiore comes back in with it quickly. Ball bounces through the crease. And Warren Hills is able to scoop it up and play it out. There's number 21 for the Blue Streaks. So, Pope John gets burned by the post again. 4th time today. 3 in the second quarter and 1 here in the fourth. Actually, 1 crossbar and 3 posts. Number 9 for Warren Hills through Played out of his stick by Boyadowski, and he's knocked off the ball, but it's taken over by number 24 for Warren Hills. Blue Streak set up. Shot comes in. It was kind of a pass. Morelli got a piece of it, and so it goes over to Boyanowski. So I wasn't sure if that was a pass or a shot. Came in slowly, but Morelli's able to get his stick on it. So there's Boyanowski. Stays with it. Comes down the field. Shot on goal. Save. May have been deflected. Goes out of bounds. And I think it went off of Warren Hills. So I think Pope John's going to... No, they're going to say... They're going to... No. Let me wait for the official ruling. Well, it looks like Pope John's going to maintain possession, so... Substitution for Warren Hills. Referee blows the whistle. I just heard 1 minute, so we are in the late stages of the fourth quarter. Here's Fiore for Pope John, leading by 6. 11-5 here in the last quarter. Formisano up top. Formisano fires. Save by number 64 for Warren Hills. Ball's thrown downfield. Barranco's able to pick that. Emilio Barranco. That's number 24 for Warren Hills. Barranco leading up the field. It's knocked out of his cross. Ball's on the turf. Here's number 24 racing upfield. The Warren Hills faithful trying to cheer them on to get one more goal tonight. Here's number 7. Through the Pope John defense, the shot on goal. Saved by Morelli. Michael Morelli shutting the door once again. And there's the whistle. The pride is spoken. The Pope John Lions defeat the Warren Hills Blue Streaks. Final score, Pope John 11, Warren Hills 5. Big win for Pope John to give them a 3-0 record for this regular season. Johnny Krangle with a hat trick. Morelli great in goal. Goal scorers abound for the Pope John Lions, and so they move their record to 3-0 with the victory over Warren Hills this evening. So, please join us tomorrow morning, early, 9 a.m. at Hackettstown High School for Pope John's next game. It's against Hackettstown at 9 a.m. Bring coffee and donuts. And then the home opener on Sunday afternoon from Pope John High School, 3:30 p.m. as they will take on Lenape. So, for everyone here at Warren Hills High School, this is Mike Formisano saying thanks for joining us. Final score once again, Pope John Lions defeat the Warren Hills Blue Streaks 11-5. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow morning.